Hello again, whiskey friends. Thanks for joining everybody for another Whiskey Wednesday. And we have quite the show planned for everybody here today. First, we're going to start the first segment all about our latest barrel pick, Tater Cakes. Now, we sent some messaging out about this one. Should come out on Monday. We're trying to finalize things with Sealbox to make sure that we're good there. So we'll make sure to be in communication with everybody. But Monday is the plan on that. And we're going to do the first tasting with Darrell, Kelsey, and I in the same place at the same time, all together. And then in the second half of the show, we're going to go over some samples that I gave to Darrell and Kelsey of Dietrich's Fine Whiskey, a bourbon and a rye, coming out of Dayton, Ohio. These are two bottles that are actually currently in my top 5. And I want to see if Kelsey and Darrell get the same feels and reactions as I do. So thank you for joining today, whiskey friends. Let's kick off the show. Pour a little bit of the Tater Cakes in here. Let this one air out as we go through. And let's pull on the rest of our panel here tonight. But Kelsey and Darrell, let everyone know your first impressions of Tater Cakes, and then we'll go through the tasting throughout the show as well. But curious about your first impressions. Let's start out with Kelsey. Come on, say hi, and let's hear what you think.
What's up, everybody? Hello again, whiskey friends. So got the bottle Saturday around, I don't know, noon, something like that. Brought it in the house, let it cool off because it was hot. Try it that night with Norseman. I think the first thing that hit me was how impressive two things with this bottle are. One is the nose. It's got like this butterscotch, cinnamony kind of note to it. It's almost like butterscotch and cream and with a little bit of spice to it on the nose. And then the finish on this thing goes on 4 days. It is crazy how long the finish stayed around. And I brought it to my guys group on Monday that we hang out every Monday, and they put a little hurting on it. So they were super impressed with the same things. They really liked the pour. But the things that stood out were the nose and the finish on this. So that's kind of my first impressions, and some of the guys in the group's first impressions were solid pour, but the nose and the finish were what stood out to them. So
awesome. Well, Darrell, come in and say hi, and let's hear your thoughts as well, buddy.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? Yeah, man. Pretty good pour. Like, I was a little worried off on the sample I had originally, but as we talked, pretty sure we got the right barrel, and this thing is pretty killer, man. So up front, like for me, was just that finish, as you guys talked about, and just nosing it. It's pretty viscous too. Like, I'll hold up my glass in a minute, but like this thing's relatively young. What is it, 6 years old, right? And the way it coats the glass is pretty crazy. Like, I call it that halo effect that goes around it, barely moving it. Like, you can see it dripping. But yes, coats the mouth nicely. Has like a little citrus. I don't really get too much of that. What is it, the note you said? Not the buttercream.
Butterscotch, cream.
Butterscotch, toffee. You haven't really gotten
I don't get too much of the butterscotch, but I get like a nice citrus, oaky, like rawness to it. Not like rural, but just, it's good, man. It's surprisingly good because I haven't had many Bardstown picks, honestly, that I've enjoyed. And this is definitely one of them, for sure.
I just thought of another note that made me think of something else, which are the candies that are like the soft caramel cream, like they're the cream on the middle, but they're like a soft caramel. That's what.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Oh, no, not a Coutts. I know what you're talking about as well.
Yep.
That's what
so getting some of that more candy parlor. I mean, we kind of described that though with all the syrups that we keep throwing out there when we throw out toffee, honey, butterscotch. It does keep like living in that range. But Darrell's the one that's got the different interpretation. We'll see if he's got it again tonight as we talk it through together.
Yeah,
so don't get into it yet, Chelsea. Don't jump the gun quite yet.
I've just been nosing. I'm hoping my nose stays as it is. Like I can still smell. I was telling these guys earlier, man. Like got Matt Madness on Friday, and I woke up with like one stuffed nostril and one runny nostril. I'm like, oh shit, just in time. So nothing's changed so far besides me dealing with that. But I can still smell. I can still taste. So hopefully, come Friday, I'm good to go. Or I'll just be like going in there blind and wishing for the best, but cross my fingers, I'm good to go. But it should be fun nonetheless, man.
Yeah.
Freezing
Hey, the good news is you're not going to bitch out like Bruzel. Hey, that's the good news.
I'll be there. Rain, sleet, snow, sick, runny nose. I'll be battling.
You want to say hi to some people first, Jeff?
Oh yeah. Well, everyone, Friday is Matt Madness for Darrell. Darrell against two former champions, Grease and Cam. So
he
a little
can
extra pressure on him
without his nose.
With the cold. But yeah, it's going to be fun. It's going to be fun.
You're going to hype me up so much, I'm going to score like 5 points to get my butt whooped.
No.
Hey, I won my round with COVID and lost my round when I was healthy. So, hey, it helped me.
He has hardcore in the thumbnail, so something's going to be happening on Friday.
Yeah, I said different
hardcore questions, double the points.
Hey, look who made it in first for the first time in a few weeks. Top Dog. Cheers, buddy.
Top Dog, who was also on this pick and part of our tasting panel for the Bardstown.
Ed, cheers to you, buddy. Good to see you in here. Randall Erickson is in here. Joe, the sample guy. Make sure you guys hit the like button. Thank you, Joe. Douglas Papa's in here. Cheers to you.
What's up?
My favorite Turk is in here. Katie. Cheers to you. Let's see who else. Stacy, who had an awesome time with Darrell on Sunday, and I will be going on sometime in August to her channel and tasting some Irish whiskey.
Nice.
Sugar Kitty, good to see you in here. My main man Tommy D is getting all packed up, ready to go. He flies out to Japan tomorrow. So we're gonna miss you, buddy. But,
wow, Tommy.
You're gonna have a blast over there, living in a different culture for a while. Yeah. So he's lived over there.
So what I'm hearing is he's gonna wake up, have his breakfast with us going forward, right?
Exactly.
Isn't that gonna work out about there?
Yeah. JG, my man. Cheers to you, buddy. Top Jimmy is in here as well. Roger Reese, cheers to you, man. Good to see you in here again. There's my main man, Norseman, Skull. Sorry, Jason. I kept thinking of ska band, and it just, I don't know. I got mixed up. Randall Erickson, cheers to you again. Let's see who else is in here. Getting close. Uncorked, cheers to you. John Cloud, cheers to you, man. I haven't seen you in a little while. Good to see you in here. Or I haven't paid attention. I apologize. It could be both. Henry, cheers to you, man. I'm still going to do your blind. I hadn't forgot about it, Henry. The Bourbon Jerk is in the house, Tom. Good to see you in here. Who else we got? Getting close. Everybody talking. Emily, good to see you in here as well. Let's see. Wayne, good to see you in here. Is it a finished bottle? The bottle sounds close to Bardstown Distillery. Only small batch stave finished bottles I picked up last week. No, it's not finished. Straight bourbon. Straight bourbon. Yeah. Sean, good to see you in here, man.
What's up, dude?
Hooper, good to see you in here.
Hooper.
All right. Andrew, cheers to you, buddy. Kenneth is in here. Good to see you in here as well. Who else? I think we're caught up. That's it.
All right. I think you said hi to Ben. Ben was in there.
Oh, I didn't see Ben. Sorry, Ben. That was not intentional. I know you're going to think that it is. It's not. Sorry, buddy.
Cheers, Ben. All right. Well, let's start out with Super Chats, and then we'll talk about the details on the Bardstown. So for Super Chats tonight, we will have 3 flights per usual. I'm going to do a flight that will feature what we're going to do in the second half of today's show. These Dietrich fine whiskeys that are from Bell of Dayton in Dayton, Ohio. The bourbon is a 6-grain bourbon. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 grain. No, I thought it was 6. I'll double check that. And then the rye is a 4-grain rye. Yeah, so that's right. 5-grain bourbon, 4-grain rye. So we're going to go through the tastings, but that will be in my sample so other people can try these.
Thank you, Katie. Yes, that would be awesome if you could track for us. Thank you.
Appreciate you, Katie. I can't wait for those details.
I'm going to do a Bardstown flight. So I have batches 3, 4, 5, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. You can pick 4 of any of those batches that you want to taste. I'll put that flight together for you and send it to you. Bardstown. So that's all the disco is what I'm talking about. Just Discovery Series. So I have 3, 4, 5, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So any of those that you want to taste, that'll be your flight. And Darrell is going to be doing a flight of
Hey, Luke. I'm going to do 2 of their regular batches and the last 2 Keenan Reserve batches.
Nice.
So 4 samples total. And they're all pretty dang solid. The Keenans in particular are ridiculous.
I think progressively what's been impressive the most about K-Luke is that they've continually gotten better every batch to me. Like there's something that has stood out and gotten better about each batch. So JG kicking us off.
Disco.
There you go. If that's what you want, that's what you get. There you go.
Keenan's
Disco 4x4. So it needs to be Disco 4 mixed with the 4x4 from 4Gate. Is that what I'm hearing? Something like that. Pretty good.
Disco
hey,
4x4.
I do have to say, Gandy Road, those batches are really great if Jeff doesn't fuck them up and put them rum in front of them and totally screw it up. So just saying.
I didn't mind it.
Oh, I was so mad because I look like such an asshole.
Well, I always try to like subtly talk you down, and then you just keep doubling down off my vibe. That was pretty funny.
Ty, what's up, buddy? This is one of my guys from Monday night. Cheers to you, bud.
Cheers, Ty.
Cheers.
All right. Well, let's get into the Bardstown pick. So
Absolutely.
I'll go over the details here real quick. I know this takes a little bit to get in because of that color, but this is officially called Tater Cakes. Now, the background on this pick, this was picked in February of 2025. We actually didn't know if we were going to pull this pick off. At the time, there was a huge snowstorm that came through Tennessee and Kentucky. I didn't even know if I was going to be able to make it from Ohio all the way down to Bardstown for this pick. At the time, too, on my drive, road conditions ended up being all right for me. My front right tire kept going flat. So every about 20 miles, I had to stop and fill it with air and keep driving to Bardstown. I was determined to get there. But along the way, I was like, oh, I'm going to stop at Jim Beam. I'll stop here. I've got extra time. Everything was closed down. So the city of Bardstown for this snowstorm was just like, nope. They played the nope card. But Bardstown themselves closed down for the public, but stayed open for us. So big thank you to Vince for that. And then took us through this tasting. On this tasting was Dusty Dan, Drifting Drams, Ethan and Katie, myself. We had Top Dog and Renee. We also had Adam Shelton and Eric. And Eric is actually the one that named it Tater Cakes. So he had this ridiculous story that just stuck in his head like an earworm the whole weekend, where he went to McDonald's and there was this guy at McDonald's that just kept yelling about his tater cakes. I want my tater cakes. Where are my tater cakes? And he wanted his hash browns. So the whole weekend, Eric just kept saying tater cakes to just about anything and everything. And then when Vince pulled up this computer screen and was like, hey, we need to call this bottle something. What should it be? And a lot of times we've just been calling things like Dusty's Whiskey Friends as like a way to limit the characters, but put as many channel names as we can. And it kind of encompasses all of us. It makes sense. And Eric is just like, Tater Cakes. And just no one questioned it. Just everyone was just like, yeah, sure. Why not Tater Cakes? And we sit there, we were watching him type Tater Cakes in. And then they had to like, send this in to get it like officially approved with all the stats. So, oh my gosh, tater cakes. So, thus, if you look at the thumbnails, that's the reason why it's also covered in hash browns. The stats on this one, proof is 119.4. The mash bill is 60% corn, 36% rye, and 4% malted barley. Comes in at 6 years. So for me, this is actually my first single barrel of the 36% rye. All the other ones I have currently on the bar are custom mash bills that are printed over the top too. So I thought that was kind of an interesting fact as well.
Is the Barrel Thieves one like that as well?
Yeah, that one was actually 21% rye, if I'm remembering off memory. And then the Barrels for Hope is 12% malted barley, 10% rye. So
the rye really
comes are a little different
on the palate on this particular one too. To me,
like you have a Barrels for Hope one? Yeah. Do I got that?
Yeah, those Barrel for Hope ones. It might have been. Yeah, it's a bourbon. Yeah. I think I might have opened it for this, Darrell, so that might have been one of the more recent ones because I think I opened it to do a comparison. Once again, the plan for this one is to come out on Monday. So if you're in here and you're not in Patreon or our private Facebook group, go jump in there. The way that we do the release pattern is on Monday. Everyone in the Whiskey Friend tier on up will get the links, and then we'll see what's left, and we'll release it to the free tier on Patreon and the Facebook group on Wednesday. So that's kind of the plan here over the next week. So we'll keep everyone posted. There's all types of details on those two sites already if you haven't already seen it. Do I got any other stats? I know I just ran through a whole bunch there in that.
No, you're summary. Good, man. I will say, you were talking about the citrus part, Darrell. That's the other part that I was kind of getting off of the nose more than the palate.
Yeah, I definitely get it on the nose. I have to retouch on the palate to see if I had gotten it there too. But yeah, it's all over the nose for me. It's like a citrus punchy spice.
But I will say it's not like the citrus you would think as like a zest, like the rind part citrus. To me, it's more candied. It's sweeter than that. It's kind of like a candied citrus type of note. And I would think specifically orange when I say citrus, not lemon.
Yeah, I'm with you with that.
Man, you got me on that one. I can get it now that you're putting it in my head, Darrell. But I'd even say, like you said, not the rind of the orange, but maybe even the flesh of the orange, or getting real deep in there.
It's not so much like that bitterness from like the peel itself. It's definitely like sweet up front.
I still get butterscotch and toffee off though, like overwhelmingly so.
It's going through Sealbox. So if Sealbox doesn't ship to your state, just make sure to let us know. We'll get you how to get it. It's pretty easy. There's an easy workaround to do that. And so, to be honest with you, it's probably going to be cheaper for you if they don't ship to your state than if they do. So on the shipping part. So if that's something that you want to do, I know I have to do that. So just letting you know.
Yeah. And, I know Darrell mentioned how low he's getting. I mean, this is my preview bottle. Now, I did share this with a few people, but I will say they probably drank this much, and then the rest has been me. Sorry, not sorry.
I'm sure Dana
enjoyed every second. Dana had a pour. Yeah, see, I mean, she had a pour. She then fell asleep, left half of it. I probably drank the rest of the glass, but we'll count the whole thing as her glass.
That's funny.
The other thing that's happening with me, and it'll be interesting as you guys get deeper in your bottle, or even if it's sat out because of today's tasting and us waiting essentially 20 minutes to get into this, the oak on the nose is actually becoming more pronounced, which I thought was kind of an interesting aspect of this as well.
I think it's further down on your bottle because I'm not getting that.
Yeah, so something to keep track of. See if you guys feel that later too.
Although I will say the oak profile on the palate does come across. It's just not it's not a young oak and it's not a dark oak. It's kind of like the in between, like straight down the middle, like what you would expect a 6 year to taste like. It's not it's not one way or the other. It's pretty in line with what the age statement says. And JG has always got some fun stuff to say.
Well, as we get into a taste here, I'll just take a quick second here for raising the glass moment, as Jason was saying earlier. Thank you to everybody who's reached out to me today. Had a rough day putting down my my little cuddle bug, Kara. So with that, people did reach out to me, so I really do appreciate that. But also, as people are reaching out to me and we're talking to them, there was other loss around the community here the last week or two. So just want to reach out to everybody in this community. If you've experienced some recent loss, let's just take a moment here, a little moment of silence and cheers. But thank you, everybody. Okay, I held it together through that. I actually wasn't sure. I think the
You did good, man.
The quarter of the bottle of the whack attack I had before this kind of helps.
They're family, dude. We've had to do that 3 times, and I do not envy anybody that has to do it. But it doesn't get any easier either. So,
all right. So let's get in on the palate.
Something that happened just now on that sip that reminded me of the damn old Don cash strength. I know it's 2 different distillates, 2 different mash bills too, but like, I don't know, maybe it's that citrus part of it or something, but oh man. Yeah, it just reminded me of so much of the damn old Don.
I would say the rye spice for me, this tasting versus Saturday's tasting, really hits harder on the front of the palate than I remember it hitting. Like it's punchy. And then the other part of it that it stays like we were talking about the finish. Once it hits, it like stays around for a while. Like it's still going. That's one of the cool things that I liked about this is that, you know, it does coat your palate. It does. If I was blinding this, I probably would have guessed 8 years old. Just the way that it kind of hits your palate, even though it's 6, it drinks a little older than that. So thank you, Katie.
Yeah,
man, the thing that's deceptive for me on this one, and I had this on my tasting, like all over my tasting notes, I still kind of feel it up front. Initially, it doesn't even warn you the flavor punch that's about to happen a little bit. Like you let it kind of sit there on the tongue and it like you slowly feel it come through, but it doesn't like, it's not over the top flavor. And then as soon as you let it hit mid palate, it's like, boom, like, let's go.
Yes.
And it doesn't stop because there was one text message, Kelsey, if you go back to when I first got the bottle and I was texting you 100 times, I was like, I can't wait for you to taste how the finish feels. Not the flavors, but I need you to feel the finish. Like I was trying to emphasize that, however I use the words there. But
Jeff and
it's not about the flavors; it's about the feel.
Thanks so much, Mark. Appreciate it, buddy. But Jeff and I text each other constantly. But the thing with Jeff is that he only puts like 1 word per line. So if he has to text you a whole sentence, it's like 50 text. So that's kind of where, you know, I know if my phone's going off constantly, I know without a doubt it's Jeff texting me.
Yes, sir, Kenneth.
Thank you so much.
That, man. If you haven't had any.
Oh, yeah.
Some good stuff.
Cheers.
So I do get the citrus still on the palate as well.
Interesting.
I'm getting it there.
Oh, Dietrich, I will say if you guys aren't doing this when you're tasting, not Jeff and Darrell, but everybody else in chat, if you're not mixing up how small or how big you guys are tasting as you're trying to experience a whiskey, switch it up because you're going to get different notes coming through on a smaller sip versus a bigger sip. It amazes me still that it makes such a difference for me. If I take a small sip, I can really hone in on a particular note that I'm getting. But sometimes if I take a larger sip, something else is going to stand out. That I didn't get in a smaller sip. So make sure you guys are mixing that up as you're tasting through some of the stuff. Yeah. Cheers, Big Vic.
What's up, Vic?
Jeremy,
in my head, man. I'm getting there. Yeah, cheers, Jeremy.
Thank you so much, man.
I forgot Jason wasn't going live the next couple weeks, so we can pace ourselves.
It is Jason's birthday today. So
Jason's not going live for his birthday. I was going to wish him a happy birthday later. Today is.
Oh, shoot. I'll have to reach out. I think he's in Colorado right now.
Oh, yeah. Go shoot him a text.
Work meeting.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we get some time to kind of go through this.
All right.
Yeah, Richie. I mean, sometimes you even do the slurpy slurp. I like that too. I think anything that you can do to help expand your palate and learn where you pick up notes is key. But Darrell will tell you this. He's the best at this. It's all about memory. Any type of note that you're getting is all because of a memory that you had when you taste a certain thing. And that's one of the things that he does really well is associating certain notes with memories and being able to recall those, quickly. And that's really what doing blinds is all about.
I just had a really cool idea for a game. Jeff, I know you're always the madman for it, but it kind of just hit me. And I think it would be fun. It was a clip on my phone a second ago. It was like, name that tune, right? Like you get like 2 seconds or whatever or you can hear 2 seconds to guess whatever the song is.
Yeah.
But we do what we do is we send a flight, whoever sends a flight, and we have a water drop thing. And you're battling somebody and you can name that type. It's different questions, name that type, name that proof, and how many drops. Yeah. Against the other person. Like if they choose 3, you can name it in 2 or whatever the case is to kind of like mix it up. I think that'll be pretty fun, man.
That would be fun. That's a good idea. Copyrighted.
I think that'll be pretty cool. I've seen people try to like guess things off of like 2 drops or something, you know what I mean? So I think it'll be interesting.
GT Mustang is in. Cheers to you, buddy. Thanks so much, man.
Yeah, Doug, so, be on the lookout. Everybody's boxes that I owed went out, minus Ed's, who won last week.
Yeah,
that's the only thing that hasn't went out. But yeah, everybody's is sent in a way, so be on the lookout. Oh, shit, busted. Oh,
man.
All right.
So you're putting it in my head. I'm getting that orange more and more, but I'm still getting that honey at the same time. So I'll concede the orange if you concede to me orange infused honey.
I can see honey. I don't see butterscotch still. Like I don't get that.
It's more of like a in between butterscotch and caramel, like is the best way to describe it. And they also make a candy that has an orange and cream. It's probably a better description of that. Has the orange candy type of sweeter flavor to it with the cream. That's really soft. That's kind of a bigger note that kind of comes through now. But overall, I was super impressed. First impressions, as well as going back to it.
Yeah, I've enjoyed it. Maybe even a little bit more each time I had it. One of those bottles that's been changing a bit for me. Another one that was kind of like that for me was Calumet 16 originally. I didn't like it. I thought it was like too farmy. Then each sip after that and each pour, it just got progressively better and better and better. And I freaking love the bottle now. But like, I got a backup and I'm like, damn, do I want to? I was like, I probably should crack it, pour some out so it can kind of get to where it was before. Cause I know the neck pour on it wasn't my jam for the most part. But I love bottles that are kind of like ever changing like that. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun.
So all in all, wrapping things up with final thoughts. I mean, I guess the thing that I like about this the most is that balance between all the sweetness we've been talking about. You've heard us talk a lot about the rye spice because it's got that punchiness. Now we're talking about fruits. We've been talking about oak. It's got a little bit of everything, and they all dance very, very well, particularly mid-palate into the finish.
I will say this.
Darrell, any other thoughts?
A summertime bourbon, too. Like, it's not your super heavy, like dark winter type of thing that you want to drink when it's cold outside. This is a good summer bourbon. Like it's got those bright notes to it as well. So no, I'm super impressed. I I've only tasted a few of the bourbons. They've all been different mash bills, like you said, but this one was right up there along for me. I liked the Barrel Thieves one just because it's more my profile. It's a little bit more fruit forward than this one was. So different mash bill, but this one was really good.
Yeah, I gotta go find the other Barrels of Hope. I think I do have that. I remember getting that. I just don't know where some of this stuff is. Some of the most recent stuff is like in boxes, and that's why like everything that's on like the bars around here, like I kind of know that. Like you can name a bottle if it's on a certain one, I know, but the stuff in boxes I freaking forget.
You need to have Katie come organize for you. She's good at that.
It's really well organized. Like I said, like anything back here, anyone on the two bars over there, I know which one it's at. It's just some of the recent stuff that's in boxes I forget that I have. But yeah, you can name a bottle and I'll be like, yep, it's on this side, that side, whatever it is. Pretty good with that. But yeah,
Durrell's whiskey bar is completely
80 proof wild turkey is the best anytime, hot or cold.
All right,
got whiskey in each corner.
Well, I'm going to put this glass away, and I'm not going to pour anymore because obviously that is a weakness with me in this particular bottle. But everybody, once again, if you just got in here, this is the latest barrel pick. The plan is to release this Monday. There are a whole lot of details either in the private Facebook group or on Patreon. So you can go back for those, or you can go back to the beginning of this video where I kind of ranted for 5 minutes.
Only get two
and
new
Sealbox. Sealbox is the distributor for this one.
Grab 2 plans.
All right. Now, reminder to Kelsey and Darrell, we talked about this. I do worry because I want to go into the second segment here and go into the Dietrich, which is 2 pours that I'm excited about. Not excited about following up with the Bardstown because of what that thing does to the palate. So please rinse out. I don't want you guys to have ho-hum impressions because we did the Bardstown first.
Cheers, Donnie. Good to see you in here, buddy. Hope you're doing well.
What's up, Donnie?
Hey, Donnie. So give it time and pour those out. So we're going to do the bourbon first, and then we'll do the rye.
I'll keep half for now. I hate keeping half of a 1 ounce, but I don't really want to pour it all right now.
Kind of like your Calumet 18. You're like, oh,
yeah.
Do I want to do anything? I'm just drinking it all right now.
It's so good. It's like really, really good, but way too much wine. Oh shit! I just screwed it up. Oh no, well they're rye. I guess. Yeah, this.
You said bourbon first, right?
Yeah, bourbon first. Bourbon first. I poured them both, but
yeah, I poured them both and forgot for a second. But I'm like, I'll be able to tell the difference between. Yeah, this should be the bourbon though.
So JG, there's a reason he looks organized, and it's because Katie is with him and has told him where to be, what to wear, and what he needs to be doing. That's why he looks organized.
Cheers, Lance.
Cheers, Lance.
Hey, Lance.
Thanks so much, buddy.
All right. So let's talk a little bit about the Dietrich whiskeys here. So this is coming from Bell of Dayton in Dayton, Ohio. So very interesting here. This is a single barrel that I got my hands on recently, but I would have never given this bottle a chance if it wasn't for Copper Wolf sending Darrell a sample. So Copper Wolf sent Darrell a sample, and there's a video that came out probably circa January, maybe last December, of Darrell going through a blind pour of one of these. I believe Copper Wolf got it off a Sealbox. And Darrell got it blind, went crazy for it, then called it out. Like, what the heck is this? Dietrich Fine Whiskeys? Like, what is this thing? Like, I have no idea what this is. But I knew what it was. My hometown's Dayton, Ohio. Now, lesson learned for me going through this. I got to try their whiskey when it was 4 to 5 years at the distillery one night. And, you know, either me in my own experience or where the whiskey was at the time, I tried it and I just kind of wrote it off. And I was just like, this ain't for me. And if you know me, on top of everything, this is pot stilled, small producer whiskey. Like, again, something I'm usually not into. But I saw Darrell go crazy for it. And this single barrel was at a store by me up in Ohio. cost $97 for a single barrel. It's about 8.5 years, and it's 117.8 proof. And we're going to go through this one, but before we go into the tasting, I just got one more story. On Father's Day, Dana was like, hey, what do you want to do on Father's Day? And we had to drive up to Dayton. And I was like, you know what? On the drive up to Dayton, I want to hit up a few stores because OHLQ's website says they have a few more of these, and I want to pick them up. So I hit up 2 stores in Centerville. I bought the last bottles that they had. Each one just had 1 bottle, to be clear. So I just bought 2. But within hours, I got a message from Gandy Road that was like, Jeff, did you by chance just go through Centerville? And I was like, yeah, why? He's like, because OHLQ still tells me they have Dietrich fine whiskey, but now they're telling me they sold out, and I'm pretty sure you bought it all. And I was like, yeah, I did. That was me.
That's funny.
Sorry, Gandy, but I know Gandy's a big fan of it because he's searching for more now too. I am going to go maybe to the distillery this weekend. So if I see anything, I'll keep an eye on that too. So that gave us 5 minutes. Hopefully you guys washed out. But I'm now going to shut my mouth and let you guys go through this 5-grain whiskey. Tell me I'm crazy or confirm my thinking. But I'll leave it to you guys to call me out.
If it's anything like the one I remember, and I don't remember what it even tastes like. I just remember loving it. But if it's anything like that, I know I'm already good.
It's pretty sweet on the nose, but I don't get that pot still on the nose at all.
It's probably
it's there a little bit, but not off-putting.
I don't, and you're so more sensitive to it than I am, but like I'm having to really, really look for that note. But I mean, just off first nose, I couldn't get it. So
got Karate Kid in the background over here.
Mm-hmm.
She's watching herself on the big screen, or the bigger screen. Goodness.
Okay, I get it more on the palate than I do on the nose, and it's not off-putting on the palate. Hi, Kira. But I do think that it's really sweet up front. Then the pot still comes through, and then you get the sweetness again and the oak on first sip. But it is pretty oily. Like it's pretty viscous too. Just looking out, coating the glass and staying on my tongue. It's not super spicy comparatively to what we just drank, being that the other one was so rye forward. But
right.
It does come through a little bit.
I'm gonna have to go watch the video I did because I just took a first sip and I remember doing. Hold on one second. I remember doing one of the blind pours and getting a note, and I was like, "Oh, this reminds me of Kings County." It has like this dark, like berry, and I think I get the pot still because I've had a couple pot stills now, and it has like this whatever note it is. But I like it though. But it reminds me of Kings County, and I remember doing one of those pour guesses, and I was like, "This reminds me of freaking Kings County," and that's what my guess was. And I bet you it was freaking that not that one, the Dietrich, because I'm getting that same note on this right now.
Thanks, Tom.
I think you're right.
I agree with Brian. Like I think the oats are kind of bringing out that note that I couldn't put my finger on. It's malted, but yet it doesn't. I think it accentuates the pot still note for me on the palate, although it's not anywhere near like what I would get on a regular pot still mash. I mean, it's not metallic like that. I could just get a tinge of it, and it's only because I'm looking for it. If I had blinded this not knowing what it was, I would have never picked it out, most likely. So
Kids on cycles right now. Oh my goodness.
I don't think you're crazy. I think this is a really good pour. I really enjoyed it. I think it's very approachable. I think it's got a great nose. It's super sweet on the nose. I think the only thing that is a little bit different that hits me is that maltiness. Whatever grain that's malted in here is a little bit different than what we just tasted, so it stands out to me.
I think it's only now. I don't know the ratios, so I'm going to ask some questions if I get to go there this weekend. The malted, the only one they spell out is malted is the barley, but it says corn, oats, rye, wheat, malted barley. Those are the 5 grains.
Nice.
Yeah, I definitely get the malt on the tail end of the palate. It's almost like beery.
Yes.
Like, kind of like how New Holland has, like right at that tail end on like the what is it? Oh my God, what is the rye that they do that we just picked?
The malted rye, the walleye.
Yes,
Walleye
it has that beer.
Yeah.
And I don't like beer, so I don't like the hops side of beer, like that taste, like that bitterness.
Mm-hmm.
But the malt is all over this towards the back of the palate, which I dig. Like I like malt, but yeah, man, that reminds me of kind of that the tail end of the walleye.
This also reminds me a little. There's certain notes, and I think it may be the oats in here. It reminds me of Detling.
Definitely doesn't remind me of Detling.
Yeah, it's.
I get a little bit of that espresso, but it's not as much.
There's a flavor profile note in this that is very similar to that.
Yeah, maybe minus the coffee part of it.
Yeah.
I remember I had
that. It may just be, I think, isn't Detling run on pot still? I don't remember. I think it is as well. It could be both the oats and the mash and the pot still coming through. That's similar for me.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm digging
There's one note I get, so I'm curious on you guys. Dana's favorite cherries to have in the house that she mixes with the Manhattan finished Sagamore is the Woodford like dark cherries, like dark cherries, dark syrup. I continue to get that starting at the mid palate and the finish. Like it's a little bit of a bitter note, but it's a dark cherry note. Like so you're not getting that sweetness of the maraschino cherry, but it's got that darker syrup.
That's that dark berry that. Like, I'm going to go back and watch that video to see if that's the bottom end, but I bet it is because that's that memory, man. Like, I just remember getting that and calling out like, oh, this reminds me of Kings County because Kings County has that note on their stuff. And I don't even know, maybe, is that pot still too? Kings County?
They should be. Yes. I'd be surprised. Yeah, I'd be surprised if they weren't.
So I wonder if that's the note, like, for me, like, as like, hey, this is pot stills, like that darker berry type thing. Because I get that in New Holland days. I remember getting it on the ryes that Gary Franchi sent me, those New Holland ryes. I get all dark berries. I get it on freaking what is the New York crap? The Kings County stuff. I get it off this. You're only saying that because you're mixing Sagamore.
This is not recency bias. It is in my spreadsheet. Thank you very much.
I will say, though, at the end of this, you know how some experiences kind of go like this. This one goes at the end and goes up. Like it spikes upward and it finishes that way, which is very different on the experience, which I enjoy. It's different. I think that if you're a bourbon drinker, this isn't going to be something that's off-putting to you or hard to drink. It's very easy, very approachable. It's just got a little bit of a different profile on the end on the end of the finish for me.
Yeah, it's unique. It's not like the standard stuff that you're drinking on the shelves right now. Like that, I'm guessing maybe the pot still or the grains that they use and being that it's a 5 grain, it definitely creates a different profile than 98% of the bottles that I have here. You know, and I'm a sucker for like different, but when it's good, like I don't like bad different. You know, I don't venture off too much, but like this
you can still taste the craft note in this. I mean, it's crafty, don't get me wrong, but it's not craft in a bad way.
No.
It's probably craft in the best way. If I was going to say something, you know, Todd was talking to us in a text about doing something coming up with us. Todd always finds these craft whiskeys that taste nothing like craft whiskey. It's amazing. Sometimes.
Like I don't think I've said it yet. I don't think he said the bad one, and it's been like 20 something.
It's nuts, and I don't know how he finds them all, and they're all really good stuff. It's surprising.
Yeah. What's up, Copper Wolf? King's
Yeah,
comes
he knows
off
what we're talking
more
about.
still and spicy, but leans more espresso to me.
Yeah,
So the
it's
single
dark.
barrels I had were a little bit more berryish. I haven't had espresso ones because those won't rub me the right way.
The Kings County comes across a lot darker. I'm wondering if Kings County isn't using smaller barrels. Though.
They were. I don't think they are anymore.
Ooh. Ed, thank you so much. Let's see. For the Tater Cakes, I would probably go with like a LFD limited reserve, whatever that Connecticut is that I like so much. I forgot the name of it. Or the Cavalier Saunter would be another one for this one. This one needs some, I think if you need that kind of a creamy note for it, and it's going to accentuate that with this. As far as this goes, I would say I would want like a broadleaf. So I would probably go with something like a Umbagog with this one would go really well because you got those dark notes in that, and then you've got that dark cherry. I think is going to come out more with this. So that's what I would pair with those two particular things. Good question. Thank you.
Oh yeah, thank you, Ed. Yeah, and as you can see here, everybody, we got Copper Wolf all over these things. So, according to this, I mean, this is 8.5 years old. They say this is barrel number 11. So I don't think they're releasing that many single barrels. From what I know, the only place that you can get these are in Ohio, when Ohio brings them in overall, at the distillery themselves in Dayton, Ohio, or Sealbox. They have done drops on Sealbox. So if you want to keep an eye on it, again, Dietrich's Fine Whiskey. And this is one of those labels and brand names that they pulled out of the old history book. So Dietrich used to be a pre-prohibition distillery in Dayton, Ohio. So I
love the labeling and marketing of it. Yeah. It's really cool. I like that.
And this, if you look up what the label was pre-prohibition, it's that. Like they didn't change it. They just kept the history, kept the name, and rocked it. So
thanks, Copper Wolf. Appreciate it, buddy. Thanks for introducing us to Dietrich as well. I mean, we wouldn't know about it for you.
There goes my camera. Hold on one second.
You inspired all this, Copper Wolf, by giving that blind to Darrell, because I would not have given it a second chance. And once again, history, like a lesson for me, and I've been thinking about this more and more, guys. Like when we've tried some of these distilleries at 4 to 5 years, and we just said, that's not for me. That might have not been the right answer. It might be different 8 years, 9 years. Like, we should probably rediscover some of these things. So wash out again. Okay. Give it a good rinse because this rye is a totally different profile.
Yeah,
now, this is a 4-grain rye. So we're going to get into a second bottle here. I know my camera is going to wash this one out a little bit because of my lighting. But this one's got a white label. It's a single barrel rye, 4-grain. So the 4th grain on this one is wheat. So it's rye, white corn, wheat, and malted barley. Proof is
chef or no?
It doesn't give me the percentages, so I'm going to ask some questions if I get to talk to somebody. Let's see, Tony here. Can't wait to get my hands on Tater Cakes. Yeah,
that would be a fun one to try to get a single barrel on, man. Shit.
So this one's 112.6 proof, and this one was even older. So this one is 9.5 years old for a rye, and only barrel number 6. So only the 6th single barrel of their rye that they've put out, which is crazy. Again, like I got to ask questions like, do they not do single barrels often because they don't stand out and they just pick the ones that do? Like maybe they're only doing 4 barrels a day. Like it could be one of those type of operations too.
Man, this one's really cool on the nose for me.
Yeah, I dig the nose on this one more than
bourbon. That is really cool. Like I can't put my finger on it. It's a cross between like a sugary like cherry note that's a little tart.
Dude, I got like a strawberry, like the strawberry wafers, like the little square cookies, dude. Like the cream part of the strawberry. mixed in with a little vanilla. There's a little bit of citrus still from that rye, I think. But
Yeah, I think that's where the tartness is coming from that I was trying to pick up. That's really cool. And to me, it comes across like those. Remember the sweet tarts that are chewy, like those sweet tarts. That's what it reminds me of.
Big ones.
I get more of the pot still on the nose, on the rye.
Do you?
Than I do on the bourbon. So.
No, it's all their stuff, right?
It is. It says distilled and bottled by Bell of Dayton on the back. I just took a risk. I only bought one of these on my little trek of buying all the Dietrichs I could find, but I only bought one of the rye. But I think I actually got to go buy some more. So that's kind of something I'm going to be on the search for.
On the palate as much as you do.
I'm surprised I like any of this. The fact that I'm hyping any of this actually makes no sense on paper.
This is way more crafty on the palate than I thought you would like. It's good. It's way more crafty.
Either I'm changing or the whiskey just hit me at a good spot with it being 9.5. I don't know.
The nose is probably my favorite part of this one. I mean, it just keeps. I go back to the nose all day long on this thing. It's crazy.
So one note, at least on the nose, I haven't taken a sip yet. There was a note that I wrote down. I was like, man, I don't know if I've ever written that down recently. Plum, like a juicy plum.
Dude, for me, like I keep going back to it. Freaking Kings County, New Holland, those ryes, dark berries, plums all day. And I get that on both the bourbons, the rye, like that dark berry, that dark plum. That's all there. Like I got those New Holland ryes. I dip into that. That's the first note I get off that stuff. And that's why it reminds me of like that Kings County stuff. And it's freaking dark. Well, it's 9.5 years. But
here's the thing that's cool about this is you can get the grain notes. And I will say this, this is something that I've come across is that when you can get grain notes without it being grainy on the palate, like when you can get those notes, I think the one that stands out the most are some of the Frey Ranch's ryes. You get the grain notes without it being over grainy on the palate. Same thing here. I think you're getting a lot of grain notes, but it's the best possible way because it's not grainy on the palate.
Yeah, I don't get like grainy in terms of like youngness, right? Or youth.
No.
So much. Ooh, gotta sneeze.
I will say this tastes better. This tastes way better with small sips than larger sips. It maintains a sweetness with smaller sips than larger sips with this one.
How would you describe that sweetness? Because I've got a very particular note.
Ooh.
That's kind of hard. It's not quite a corn sweetness, but it goes straight from the sweet to the craft note that I'm getting, the pot still note. It goes very quickly. The sweetness does not stick around on the front of the palate very long. It goes immediately to that kind of crafty pot still type of note to me. I wouldn't say it's like a corn sweetness, but it's closer to a corn sweetness than anything else that I can put my finger on.
Why does my camera fail me?
We need to take a picture.
It always fails at like the worst moment for you too.
Dude, like it's crazy. I don't know what I might have, or maybe the kids hit a setting in the camera. Like if I pull off frame a little bit, it freezes because it shouldn't be doing it. Like I'm trying to turn my fan on. That's like across from me a little bit. But watch, right? I'll do this. Come back, and let's see if it freezes. As I try to make it freeze, it doesn't. But yeah, that's weird.
See, I thought you were practicing for a second career as a ventriloquist.
Yeah, exactly. Or getting his zen.
You could talk without your mouth moving.
I don't know. Like, why is it not doing it now? What the hell?
All right, guys, we're gonna shut off super chats in the next minute and a half. So if you guys want to get on the super chats, make sure you do that. Katie's keeping track for us.
Yeah.
We've got 3 flights. We've got what we're tasting tonight, plus 2 more samples. I'm doing a Bardstown disco flight. You can pick from 3 through 12, whatever 4 you want. And Darrell is doing a K-Luke flight of 2 of the Keenan Reserves and 2 regular batch releases. So make sure you get in on that. I have to say the bourbon's way better to me than the rye from my palate. I don't think the rye is bad. I just think the bourbon's more my profile.
So I thought the same thing, and then when I did our whole scoring system, I ended up grading them the exact same way. When I sat down and picked it apart on its own in that element, like I just put down the same thing. So yeah, so that's why they're both in the top 5.
Thank you.
Joe, the sample guy coming in.
Oh,
we do got.
Thank you, Joe. Thank you, BT.
Thanks, man.
To win it.
I will say this would be one I would want us to go to if we're all in Ohio together. I would want to go to this distillery together and do a tasting together.
I'm more curious, and I'm more curious about options and what's going on there. So,
and shameless plug, we are going to Creekside Cigar Company if we're in Ohio together.
If we're in Ohio,
we're doing else. We are going to that freaking cigar club.
We got to figure out what we're doing around that Bardstown trip. We got to talk about that.
Oh man, I've got to go in there. We've been talking about it. If you haven't checked out Creekside Cigars online, or if you're in Mainville, Ohio, near Cincy, go check those guys out. Doing great stuff, great content. You will get the best customer service anywhere in the world as far as the cigar is concerned. Ethan and Katie, if you guys want to go ahead and put that together, what am I saying Ethan's name for? Katie, if you want to go ahead and get that put together. I'm sure Ethan is like telling her what to do and telling her that she needs to be
supervising the one.
Yeah, his supervising role.
Yeah.
So we definitely need to do that.
All right. So if you got some of the rye left, real quick, I'm going to throw out my crazy tasting note. Mid palate. It reminded me of a childhood memory. My grandma used to buy us cream horns, which would have been those pastry shells with the cream in the inside, but it's got honey glaze, sugar on top. So it's not like, it's like a dull sweetness, but it's pastry like. And it's something about the way that wheat and that white corn play. But there's also that sweetness there too that just made me think of cream horns, if you've had one.
I've never had those.
Never had it, but I could see where you're getting that from. But I also think it's the pot still note that's making those come out, because it's getting the grain notes forward for you. And I think that if that hadn't been there, you probably wouldn't have gone that direction with it.
What else do I have? It's pot still.
Just comes across as like this flaky pastry dough, like so good. It doesn't make sense that I like these, everybody. Like, just to be clear on this, like, really makes no sense that I am the one of all people that's like, yeah, this is so good.
All right, so we're gonna recap while Katie's sending this to him. We've got Tater Cakes, that is going to release most likely Monday. We'll be releasing through Sealbach. If Sealbach does not ship to your state, just contact us. We'll send you a way to be able to make sure to get it. There's a little bit of a workaround that's pretty easy to do. So make sure you do that. We do have the Old Doms coming up next after Tater Cakes. I'm not sure on a date on that, but it should be this month. And then we've got a few other things lined up throughout the rest of the year that you guys are going to be freaking stoked about. And I can't wait to get all of that confirmed and get it out to you guys. Let's see. Copper Wolf says, I know exactly what you're talking about, Jeff. My ex would eat those. And I was just like, I don't get it. Hey, there's a lot of weird stuff that Jeff has introduced us to food-wise. Geta, I love Geta. Like, every time that we go and Jeff, I'm like, bring the Geta. If you don't know what Geta is, go look it up. Speaking of oats.
So we got a request before we get into the wheel. Are you guys up for a little?
I can hang. I know
stay
Kelsey's an early night owl, but I can hang.
Stay for a few minutes. I will probably go outside and come back on, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, give you like an extra 30 minutes for a smoke.
If we do that, do you want to do any more of the samples that I sent you guys? So something to think about. I sent you that whole box.
Yeah, I want to try that Old Dom one you're talking about.
Okay.
That one. I'll have to look at the name of it again.
All right.
Remember
So
it.
we'll go a little into overtime, everybody. So if you want to keep hanging out with us, we'll keep going. I kind of need the distraction, honestly, so I appreciate hanging out a little longer.
Absolutely, man.
And then I'll go check on Dana too. Dana might have gone to a friend's house, but I'll make sure she did or didn't, so we don't stay too long. So let's see here. Ethan and Katie, you give me the signal when you're ready. Make sure you got Wayne on there. So thank you, Wayne,
Yes, Wayne,
for that one.
Sorry about that.
But we are shutting him down officially with Wayne's. Wayne will be the last one entirely. Yeah, so I go back and forth between the rye and the bourbon. And as I said, in my mind, I like the bourbon more. Independently, scoring them, I scored them the exact same. So for Kelsey and Darrell, I know I haven't even released the video yet on the rye, and I'm talking about the rye. My top 5 right now contains New Riff's 10-year rye, New Riff's 10-year bourbon, Dietrich rye, and Dietrich bourbon. I am like the biggest homer ever here. Like everything in my top 5 is within 20 miles, 30 miles of my house.
Start calling you Todd Ritter.
Right?
I mean,
what the hell's going on?
You know, I think the bourbon, like I said, is definitely my favorite. I don't know that I would. Here's the thing, though. I haven't tasted a whole lot of new stuff that's come out this year. I'll just be honest. I've really bought our picks and a few other channels' picks, and kind of spent a whole lot of money on cigars. So I couldn't tell you that my top 5 right now off the top of my head, which is kind of crazy because I haven't really bought a whole lot of bottles this year. So I will say the Old Fitz 7-year was not as great as I thought it was going to be. I did taste that Monday, so there's that.
I didn't think it was going to be great.
I thought it was okay, but it's like $50, right? You know what I mean? So it's not bad.
Oh, 210 cheers, man. Good to see you guys in here. Appreciate it, buddy.
Yeah, cheers, Todd.
Hey, what's up, buddy?
All right.
Go Eagles.
Thank you for the update with Wayne. All right. So we will I'll share screen here. We're going to do 3 giveaways, everybody. Thank you so much for everybody who contributed here tonight. And good luck to everybody. What on earth is my
recommendations for starter? That's working for you,
sir. Before we get to the wheel, I'll take this real fast. I would say you are safe with Perdomo. I think it's a very good cigar. It's got great construction, lots of flavors. I would stay with Champagne cigar there that they make, 10-year anniversary. And then maybe Lot 23 is another line of theirs that I would suggest. And then other than that, on the lighter side, Brick House, they have a double Connecticut and a Maduro. Those would be 2 brands that you should be able to find anywhere you go. Great cigars. So there you go.
All right. Yeah, it is hard, Roman, kind of like waving through those waters on the cigar. And I'm sure whiskey was the same way, and we kind of forget about it.
Yes.
How long it took us to get into things.
Yep.
But yes, Copper Wolf, I'll get back to you on that one. I see your message there. With the cigars, like I kind of just wade my way through it, and I just kind of keep asking people like, why do I like this one when I do like something, and let them explain it to me. But it is kind of it's harder to pick up in some places.
It is a lot harder to pair cigars with whiskey than anything else. Like super fun, easy way to pair cigars with root beer. Root beer and cigars are fabulous. Easy pairing. And then obviously I'm a sucker for coffee. So cigars and coffee for me is super easy. Like I could pretty much pair any cigar with a certain coffee and it's pretty easy. So, but whiskey and cigars is tricky. You got to find stuff that either is complete opposite or something similar that's going to bring something else out in that's already in the whiskey. So, those would be my 2 recommendations. And if you need any more, just shoot me a message. I'd love to talk cigars with anybody.
And that'll be a new series coming soon where Kelsey walks us through some cigar recommendations with the whiskey pairing to go with it. So keep an eye out for those videos. All right, we get more cigar questions.
Away. No freaking.
They've been using the wheel of names here, so I can't shuffle. I think this is Ethan's doing. If there's anything I blame Ethan for, it's taking away my randomize button. Now, we'll get into this here. The first one will be what we drank tonight, which would be the Dietrich bourbon and the Dietrich rye. So I'll send you samples of each of these bottles in my hands right now, and then I'll send you 2 other blind pours. That way I'm sending you 4 things. So you'll get a whole.
Or is it Dietrich? Which one is
Dietrich?
it?
Did I say Dietrich?
Is it Dietrich or Dietrich?
Oh, God. Now you're going to have me
Is
doubting
it
that forever.
Or curate?
You know, last week, so Vari, V-A-R-I, messaged us on the channel in last week's live, and that's the first time that his name's popped up, implying. And I then doubted myself the entire week. Did I say it right? Was it Vari? Was it Vari? Did I say it right? I'm not even sure what I actually said on the live, but these are the things that go through my head. So thank you for calling me out at the end
love
here.
Messing with you.
I know you're just. Oh wait, I just hit the button.
Oh, here we go.
It's random.
It's random. Let's see who's getting it.
I think it only works when
All right.
Show the sample guy.
Show the sample guy. You're getting the Dietrich. I'm gonna like try to completely skip the E. Dietrich. But I'm not even gonna pronounce it, Darrell. It's D-Trick. Dietrich.
Well, here's the thing.
Or zebra?
Detling is spelled the same way, right? And it's not spelled Dietling, or not said Dietling. It's Detling.
Do you say zebra?
Dietrich.
Or
Dietrich.
Dietrich. Dietrich's a name, though. Dietrich sounds like an actual name.
I understand. I'm just messing with you. I don't even know. I'm just kind of messing
with all the
you.
things I get to be self-conscious about, pronunciations is the worst. But thank you, Joe. Congratulations. So I'll get this one out to you, buddy. So we'll go around the screen here. So the second one will be Kelsey with his Bardstown Bourbon Company flight.
Yep. Any disco from 5 through 12, whichever 4 you want. So.
All right. So whoever wins this, you'll have to be sure to contact us and Kelsey.
Yep.
Ooh.
Oh, this guy should be easy to contact. Big Vic. Here's Big Vic. What's
rigged.
Up,
he never wins. He shouldn't.
I know it's freaking rigged, man.
That's not right. That's not right.
Rigged.
Ugh. All right. Now we got Darrell with the K-Luke flight. All right, BT. Now, BT, I think I have it. Email me at helloagainwhiskeyfriends@gmail.com just to make sure that I've got everything straight. So,
was this mine or Kelsey? Sorry.
This is for yours, Darrell.
Yeah.
Okay.
But be sure to email me. I think I can look it up, but I want to be sure. Sometimes on the screen names.
Big Vic, if you're listening, you won a sample flight of Bardstown Disco. I've got 4, 5, 7, 8, 9, 10, and 11, and 12. So whichever of the 4 you want, just let me know and I'll get them together for you.
You got 3 or you started at 4?
Do what?
Did you start at 3 or start at 4 for your
3?
Disco?
3, 4, 5, 7, 8, 9.
No brainer there.
12. Yeah.
All right. Tell you what, I've got 2 ounces of this Dietrich left. Dietrich. And I plan to go back there this weekend. So, hey, let's have a 4th winner.
All right.
So we'll do it one more time, everybody. A little bonus winner for the overtime after hours. Ooh, I know. It's so close. Ah, Toby.
Top Jimmy.
Man,
So close, Jake. So close,
that
Jake.
was close. All right. So now you're gonna have to let us know what you think of these too, man. Like everyone I send these to, I really need some feedback because I feel like I'm out on a limb, but I love these. Like most exciting thing I probably had in the last year to 9 months. All right. But thank you, everybody. Thank you so much to everybody who contributed to the super chats tonight, and congratulations to all of our winners. But we are now in overtime. It is Jason's birthday, so happy birthday, Jason, if you're for some reason watching this stream when you should be enjoying the mountains. But sounds like Jason's not going live. I don't know if anyone else is, so let me know in chat what you see going on YouTube. But we are in overtime. So, Kelsey, you good to go over?
Yeah, I'm going to go outside, but yeah, I'm going to go over. So do me a favor and text me the link.
We'll stay here.
The link.
Do we gotta switch? Like people are live. We don't gotta go private, do we?
No. He wants to go to his porch.
I want to go to my porch, so I need the link.
Oh, so
this is Kelsey. This is Kelsey's cigar time. He's like,
gotcha.
this is my time. So I'll hang out with you on my terms if I get a cigar.
Oh shit.
I'm like, wait, we're not hopping off. So I still got these. What are these kids doing?
And then Darrell, he mentioned doing one of the old Doms.
Oh, okay.
So in the sample pack that I sent you, the giant box, giant hand delivery box there.
Guys, of just like samples upon samples.
Yeah. I was owing Kelsey and Darrell some sample things, just of everything. So everything that we taste in general, especially when we're doing the reviews, we send everybody else everything that we're reviewing, so we all get to taste it eventually. And I hadn't sent these guys anything in like maybe 2.5 months. So there was some debt to be paid on all of these samples.
So I have a few different old. I think I have 2. What are these?
So I sent you 4 old Doms.
Shit. Okay.
We'll see if I think Kelsey wants to do the barley wine one, which was the Memento Mori. And I'll pull that bottle in just a second here. I'm getting Kelsey the link. Let's see. All right, where's our text thread? Kelsey. Boom. All right. So Kelsey, you got the link now in your phone, so he's good there. So with these old Doms, so we're going to go through at least one of them here. Here they are. Now, this was my favorite of the bunch. I sent Kelsey and Darrell all 4. Shout out to local whiskey friends, Jason and Don. So they, for their honeymoon, went over to Memphis and Old Dom Distillery and texted me from that bar. And when they sent me the text, I knew exactly where they were. And I was like, hi, do they have any experimentals? And I thought they would have 1. And they had 4 batches out, of course, that day. So Don got me all 4. So what these are, if you've ever been to Old Dom or haven't been, man, really wiping out. There we go, with these white labels. So Old Dom does these R&D bottles. If you see R&D here by my fingers, and each of these is typically finished in a different beer barrel from a different brewery and a different type. So the one that I think we're going to do here is, and Kelsey's pulling up, the one I think we're going to do is the one from Meddlesome Brewery, and it's their American barley wine beer barrel that this was finished in. And it's 110 proof. And what it says on the back label, they use the words fueling station, though. Is it hauling station? Now you got me all back mixed up, Kelsey. I see you there. You're behind the scenes and you're mouthing, and I still just saying fueling in my head. Now it could be hauling. that makes me think it's the MGP that was finished in
Hewlin.
Hewlin.
Yeah, Hewlin. They said Hewlin.
I thought so, but Kelsey's got me
Holland.
doubting the world.
Not Holland. Hewlin Station.
He's just
This
laughing.
one got me a little worried though, man. I'm like, oh, barley wine.
This was my favorite of the four, so don't pour the whole sample so that you can do a comparison.
I poured.
But
No, I probably poured too much.
but if you are ever at the distillery, I recommend that you pick these up. When we first went there to do the Hewling Station pick, they had one called All's the Cookies. All the Cookies, All's the Cookies, something like that. And I didn't grab it at the time, and I totally regretted it. So then when I had the chance to get some of these from friends, I appreciate it a bit more.
That smells different. I'll tell you that.
Yeah, this is our flight tonight. Couldn't have been any crazier. We got a Tennessee bourbon, a Dayton bourbon and rye, and now we're getting into beer finished MGP.
Which one was Tennessee?
MGP, but
the Old Dom.
With the Old Dom, but pretty sure this is the MGP. It does say produced by Old Dom. See, that's like the confusing thing. I mean, the produced word is not necessarily very descriptive, but it says Hewling Station on there. And yes, these are 375s, and each one was $30. So the ones that I sent them samples of were barley wine, a nut brown ale, a imperial stout, and then the other one's a stout too. So all of them are different. Kelsey, do we need to pull you on? We probably have to pull you on because you're just waiting for me to click on you this entire time.
I was like, maybe he's just mad at me. I don't know.
I was like, he's getting set up and he's gonna pull himself in eventually. Like, I just see your head nodding the whole time. So we did pour the Memento Mori. That's the one, Kelsey.
Yeah, this thing smells weird, dude. I don't know.
Darrell.
Well, I don't know.
Remember what Darrell said earlier when it came to the beer part and the malt on the New Holland and the one that he got on the Dietrich.
Well, here's the thing. All the cookies was strange to me, too. Like, all of these are going to be experimental, are going to be strange. They're not going to be anything that's somewhat normal.
No, I like that. I like that nose quite a bit.
Do you really?
This is one of Jeff's. Darrell, look at me.
Bad.
Look at me.
It's not bad.
It's one of Jeff's interesting pours, which means
this smells better than the damn dirty diaper.
So, for context, on our sheet, I think I graded all these between an 81 and an 84 or an 85. So that's kind of the range for these. Did you have this one, Kelsey? Do you have this one with you?
No, I just grabbed a root beer because I can't drink too much with the
because you're talking
stuff.
Okay,
The
you're
blood
fine, buddy.
sugar stuff. I have to watch how much I drink.
We'll just look at Darrell on his reactions on this beer fit. He's like, what did you do?
I just put it to the side. That's what I did. It's actually let me give it a fair shake. I'll take one more sip, but like that note is very, very strong in that finish.
It's beer,
and
you have to like beer to like these. But I love this. Well, relatively.
I don't like beer, but this, to me, to be honest, doesn't really come across as like beer.
It's a barley wine. It's a barley wine beer, so it's a.
Maybe that's why it's not so bad for me because I like barley, but malted barley at least. The nose, I don't dig the nose. Yeah, it's all you're a beer drinker though, so the nose is probably all up your alley. But like for me, no, not so much.
Yeah, I'm an ex beer drinker too, so it's like feeding the ex fiend on that note. Like, yeah, let's get back in there. I'm just waiting for Darrell's reaction, just staring intently.
Trying to see if I got anything different. Like it's, I'll tell you the oh fuck, front. The front of the palate is not my jam. It gets better. Actually, no, I'm lying. The longer it sits, I get more. Like so, when I first sipped it, like the mid and the back of the palate came across decent, but now all that flavor sitting on my tongue, and it's just all that I'm guessing that barley wine, because that's not what I'm digging. It's just sitting there, and it's like I can't get rid of it. No, not my jam.
All right, Darrell, pick something else. Let's not talk about this one anymore. If you want to have another sip, or if you're done, let me know.
Yeah, I'm done with that, but I can certainly pick something else.
Well, this should at least let everybody know on you. We can't hide our reactions, so when you do see us like things, we do like them. And if we don't like them, things like this happen.
Got a lot of copper and cask in here too. Huh?
Now, okay, so give it a fair shake for me, because I do like this one a lot, and I would recommend that somebody checks these R&Ds out. They're $30. Gotta like beer, though. I mean, that's the main thing that you should take away from what's happened here in the last couple minutes. It is beer finish for sure. But man, there is this lovely honey note, most likely coming from that MGP that I get on the finish of this one.
That's MGP?
Gosh. Yeah, it's MGP, man. I love the honey note, and my toes are curling here behind the scenes.
I thought that was a
This one hits me in some nice spots. It just doesn't have a lot of complexity to it, and the nose gets real flattened because it's just the barley wine. So when it comes to our score sheet, there's certain metrics that it's just held back on because of that. But there's some notes on this thing that I do adore. Now, Major Zero just jumped in, which is amazing timing because we say Memphis and Old Dom, and then Major Zero jumps in. But curious if you've had this one. Memento Mori is the experimental that we're going through.
What is APW 15? I just seen the age statement. I'm like, yep, that's probably better than what I just drank.
All right. We can
What
get
is
into some ass pocket whiskey.
Oh, that's what those little things were?
Buff turkey.
Yeah, that's the
pocket
APW.
whiskey.
Oh, it's buff turkey?
Yep.
Oh, shit. Then, yeah, that's definitely going to be better than this.
So this one's Buff Turkey 15 year. Now, either they got some of the lower proof ones or they proofed it down to 107.
Is it
So-
I bet they proofed
doesn't
it
say
down.
it's barrel proof? Shit. All right.
Yeah, so I don't think it's barrel proof. And just so you guys know, sending you samples of this thing, you guys took most of the bottle. 200 milliliters for this thing. So this was a good one to just kill. Now, what I did appreciate on this one is it's only 200 milliliters. It was $75, but I would still much rather buy 375s and 200s to be able to try more things at a discounted price than to buy this for 300 to try it. That's the difference between me buying it and not buying it at all. Oh my gosh, I should just load up all of the AI turkeys. I should just have those clips somewhere, just like Matt has all those clips ready to go. I'll get my buff turkey clips just to haunt all your dreams, JG. JG, you should have never recommended that. Now I'm going to haunt your dreams with these buff turkeys pumping metal. Strangely, that's like our most viewed video now, and like this year is that video. Everyone watching those AI gym rat turkeys and all their muscles.
I hate those.
I know JG should have never brought that up.
That's
All right, Darrell needs to end on a good note here.
Yeah, I'm going to pour a little bit of that.
Had to plug in the phone. It was about to go dead.
Yeah, I didn't like that. That's that one.
Finally starting to freaking cool off out here. It was hotter than balls out here.
It's still bright, dude.
Yeah.
It's only 8:30 over there, and it's not bright.
Yeah, it didn't get dark here till about 9 o'clock.
Shit.
I'm in kind of the same boat right now. It's about 9 o'clock for me too. Kind of makes sense based on
Yeah.
where we are.
Whoa.
Ethan,
more
if you're
like it.
watching still, I am smoking the Silent Hero, buddy.
Oh, I
Yeah,
didn't give it a good intro here. So yes. So if anyone's ever seen these before, so these made their debut at last year's Bourbon and Beyond Music Festival. So it's Ass Pocket Whiskey, APW, different blends, different distilleries coming out at these 200 milliliter bottles. This is a celebrity whiskey. The guitarist name, I believe, is Derek Trucks. It's not written here, so don't quote me. I'm pretty sure that is his name, but he's the one that's been coming out with these. And they've been coming out with different batches, but they did get their hands on some buff turkey. So that was this one. And as I said off the top too, 107 proof, 15 years old.
What was the price for the 200 mil?
$75 for this one. A lot of their other releases have been $50, but
Okay.
they upped it for this one.
And the $50 ones were still 15-year ones?
No, the other one I got was a 10-year rumored to be Buffalo Trace. And then they came out with another, I think it was a 9-year that accompanied this one. But they've all been different years and supposedly different distilleries, but they're not disclosing anything.
Okay.
But it typically says things like produced and bottled by APW in Frankfurt. So they aren't disclosing too much about it. So most of it's just hearsay and rumors. Yeah, I probably should have been able to predict that, Major Zero, but it's also funny watching him get hit by the train.
Yeah.
Jeff likes to be a torturer.
It's
sometimes.
Well, it's in retrospect, it's obvious it wasn't malicious.
It wasn't malicious. It's never malicious intent. It's just fun for him. Like giving us a whiskey that's finished in Calvados that tastes like dirty diapers. That wasn't malicious. He just wanted to see what we would do with it.
Yeah, that old Drams. Just a little weird. This is good. I think it is proof down instead of being like cash strength at 107 or
it's definitely proof down. There's no way that they didn't, because it's just going to produce more that way. It's going to be more money.
Yeah,
because those barrels are expensive.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, it's not as much flavor punch. Granted, it's not proof either, but sometimes like you'll have lower proof stuff that has that retention of flavor. You lose a little bit of it, but there's still a good amount of flavor. Like this is good, way better than that. Oh, Dom. But it's not like, I guess maybe on a level of like barrel proof single barrels that came out, but this is good.
I do think that they were just riding that train, bro. The hype train that was going around about the buff turkey. I mean, they all planned that at the same time. And there's a reason all that stuff came out at the same time. So, Ethan, I have to say, this has the most smoke off of a Lancero I've ever gotten, dude. Crazy.
Yeah, it's solid. Nothing crazy about it, but it's good. Profiles, though, is kind of different than the standard like buff turkey stuff I had.
You know, I don't even think I've had a buff turkey yet, so that'll be my first buff turkey experience.
Oh shit! Okay. Yeah, this is more on the brighter end than like the darker.
I was waiting on our good buddy Todd Ritter to spare some of his favorite bottles. That
is a good point. We need to reach around the community and get some samples of Jason's because we didn't get those in.
I had that from freaking Scott. I don't even know where it's at. Somewhere. I want a sample of the The Sweet 16. Yeah. Somewhere over that.
So,
It's somewhere. I got it last week.
so on my experience on these, the best equivalents that I have is with these, the hype around these buff turkeys reminds me of the hype around like the Lucky 7 proprietors 3 years ago, right? Like I feel like they're traveling in similar ranges, but we also saw the major differences between the 130 plus proof point on the Lucky 7 proprietors.
Yeah.
But then we would see some like random 107 proofs and 110 proofs. And they didn't have the same flavor punch profile. You really missed that proof. I feel that in this pour. Like I know they probably watered it down for more economic reasons than taste profile reasons, but I like the profile. I like what's there. There's a nice cherry. There's a little bit of orange. You really feel the oak, but it doesn't have that second or third gear. Like it just ends on you. Like it's just a nice smooth ride. Lives up to its name though. Like it's meant to be ass pocket whiskey. Crack the screw top open and go finish it in a night. Like that's what it's for. So
What did Zero say? So the R&Ds are just fun sippers to change things up. Might be more of a cigar blend.
well, he just doesn't like beer. I should have thought about that to begin with.
Cracking, come on. I'm good. As long as I don't move off camera to fix my fan over here, I'm all right. As soon as I move off camera, although I was trying to do it and it wasn't working, so I don't know what the heck's going on with it.
Yeah, you guys get to catch our vibe in overtime too. This is pretty much what we do after the stream turns off anyway. Like we just sit here and do this for a half hour regardless.
Jeff just say he needs a reach around. OC's going off the rails real quick. I missed that.
Don't judge me, OH. I've been through a lot today.
We've been giving Jeff a hard time, and we probably shouldn't have today, at least.
Major Zero.
No, I needed it. I appreciate it. I appreciate everybody for the distraction, getting through it. You know, it's always like, should I still be on tonight or not? But I don't know. It's better to be here.
Always good when you really need them, man. Like I've been there and definitely needed a couple distractions at some points, and you guys always come in clutch, man. So cheers to you all.
Oh yeah. Man, I said that. I'll have to go back to the
Yeah, he did say reach
go back
around.
to the replay.
I was going to let that one slide.
Oh man.
Yeah, Copper Wolf. They didn't dig too much into the pockets yet. Those were pretty good at the time when they first came out, right? Like 120, 130-ish or so, right? For those 14, 15-year picks. And that's perfect because those things are bangers. Like I got one, whoops. Yeah, like right over there, little 14-year-old pick.
I think the most expensive one was the one OH got us, wasn't it? It was like $200.
It was
one
$200 for the
$200?
for the 15 years age
Was
Yeah.
it
statement.
200?
Yeah.
It was 200, but that was
Yeah.
the one I actually liked the least. Like
Yeah, the 14-year.
the 14s
14s
killed
were
that
better.
15, that one on that rotation.
Yeah, the Justin's was killer. You know, I'm gonna pour it in 14.
I think I killed all of mine. No, I didn't. I've killed the 14 and I still have the 15.
I
I need another Justin's.
I just got the one we opened. Didn't we open the one when we were just together, Kelsey? I opened that one when
Yeah.
we were in Michigan, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, the 14s were better than. I had 3 different 15s, and the 14s were all better than those.
At least that one. The Party Source one was really good too.
Party Source 15 or 14?
14.
Oh,
So the
yeah.
Party Source 14 and the Justin's.
Justin's was.
And then the one I got to open up is the Bourbon Street. That one OH got for me too, the 14-year. Those ones stuck out for me.
That's the well. I don't know if it's the same barrel I got. Is yours like handy? Can you say what barrel it is?
Oh, yeah, it's right here.
Bourbon Street 14.
Yeah, barrel 55.
Oh, okay. What are the other? All right, mine is 83 from Bourbon Street.
Ah. Well, mine's a smaller number, so mine's better.
But mine is 147 proof though, so mine's better.
This is 147 proof?
Maybe. Or maybe not. Sounded
It's not
good.
147.
Right? Jeez.
It's 130 plus, but it's not 140.
No one pull out measuring sticks with Durell over there.
Oh my
I'm
gosh,
just gonna
Jeff,
keep-
dude,
I'm
come
just gonna
on. You're just teeing stuff
Keep
up.
laying down.
Talk about reach around, measuring sticks. Talking about Durell having a long, you know what?
This is all innocent talk. I don't know what you guys are talking about. You know what? Actually, this is very fitting. The glass I pulled, based on where we're
Live
headed
wire.
right now. Little live wire.
There you go.
Let's go off the rails here.
He does have 6 kids. I mean, there's a reason that happens.
Yeah. No.
Oh my gosh. Jeez.
What did you pour, Jeff?
Little proprietor.
Oh,
Did you
55
just
or
pour some too?
I did, yeah. It's killing me. Which one did you pour? Sorry.
Barrel 55.
Okay. Yeah, that was the one that I think you said competed with like the best of them, right?
I still think the
55?
Justins. The Justins, you know, I can't compare them all head to head anymore, but I think the Justins one on memory was my favorite.
Justin's is
I
what took
agree.
our first competition,
Yeah,
right?
that was a killer barrel that they picked.
Yeah.
Yep.
It was like 136.8 or something like that. I think 136.8. I need to sweet talk Blake. I know he has a couple lingering.
Got Copperwolf's comment still up here, but I still think the most important thing, especially in the era that we're going through right now, where the prices right now are
ridiculous,
awesome, or ridiculous.
Yeah.
Like, we just got to talk our way through this as the whole community and the group and try different things and just be steering everybody in the right direction to keep everybody in this like 150 or less range, if not 100 or less. Because, you know, I know Durell, I'll bring it up now. I mean, the Calumet 18, you reviewed it on Monday. $500. I mean, would you buy it?
Not for 500. It is absolutely fantastic. Very, very, very good. And it'll probably be like a top whiskey for, I want to say, everybody that's probably going to try it. But it's just tough when there's whiskey that's not as good, but in that realm for like $100. You know what I mean? So when you look at the value, like you can buy 5 bottles of just say a whiskey that's going to score an 88, right? Versus Calumet 18 that may score like a 92. Like, I'd much rather have like 5 bottles for the same price that I would pay for the Calumet of this bottle. You know what I mean? Because it's really, really good versus that. Like, I just wish, and I said it in the video, that it was maybe 250. You know, instead of 500. I think 250's as much as that is, or as pricey as that is, that's still a buy, dude. Because that bottle's great.
I think here's
really
a question
good.
for you. Marty posted that he found the Calumet 18 for $2.99 at an ABC store.
No, that wasn't that bottle.
It wasn't that one?
No, it was something else.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Okay.
It wasn't the 18. I forget what it was. But whatever price that he posted still wasn't worth what it was. It wasn't the 18 though, because at $2.99, I think it's.
So
I think
it's very confusing. So this is probably confusing a lot of people that are maybe even watching it. But there were 3 releases that Calumet dropped at the same time. There is a decanter, which I'm actually not sure what is in the decanter. There's a 17-year that was 400, and then there's the 18-year that is 500. So whatever's in that decanter, I'm not sure even what the proof is. Like I was even looking at it today, and I was trying to look it up on the, like, seeing it on the display. Like, what the hell what is actually in the decanter? and I couldn't tell. But they did drop 3 releases all at the same time, so that might be
Jason-
confusing people.
Jason did a
They put
video
in-
on all of them, I believe, and
The
talked through
chat
that.
saying
I'll have to go back
that the
and
Cantor is 86 proof
yeah.
versus the 18. The 18 I think was like 119. But I think Roger said the Marty was talking about Heaven Hill 19. That's the
Oh,
bottle.
that's right. That was a Heaven
Oh,
Hill
that's the
19.
bottle.
Yeah.
Okay.
So let's throw
Is
that
that-
out there because a
yeah.
lot of people have liked that bottle this year. $2.99 worth it to you because you're a Heaven Hill junkie.
But I'm not a weeded Heaven Hill junkie. You know, like give me the bourbons. You know, you give me a 19-year William Heaven Hill, right? Or $2.99, and I'll probably buy it, but not like a weeded whiskey or a wheat
Gotcha.
whiskey from them.
Yeah.
You know, because wheat whiskey is what they're freaking, not the Larceny, it's the Bernheim line, and it's okay. You know, but I prefer their bourbon. I don't even really like their weeded bourbons that much, but the bourbon for me is where it's at.
I was so disappointed, I do have to say, whenever we were there and they had the Heaven Hills Select Stop. I think that one was a weeded
single
one,
malt?
wasn't it? Yeah.
No, it
was
was
it a single malt or was
when
it?
we were there.
Dude, that was so gross for that
Yeah.
price. I'm like, dude,
Single
you
malt
should
for like
not be
$2.50.
selling that stuff for that. It was not good.
Yeah, it wasn't my jam. It was $250, then secondary would be $500. Doesn't
So-
really matter.
So Kraken's bringing up a point. I think you might have actually brought this up on the video, if I'm correct. This came up a few times in your review, Darrell, if you look at the comments. But we can talk about it being overpriced for $500. Now, what would be a fair price based on the trajectory of the 14, 15, 16, 17, 18? Like, you're probably getting into that 225, 250 range,
Yeah.
right? Like, if they
Yeah.
would have kept up with that same trajectory, and we might have pulled the trigger on it. I think you even said at 250, you'd be fine.
Yeah,
with it.
250 is probably max for me on that, and it's damn good.
What's happening
I
right now, though?
would be tempted at $2.99 even, but I'm with you. I think at $2.50 that would be a automatic for me.
So for anyone that's keeping up with the secondary market and is on some of these pages, like the whole middle low end of the secondary market dried up. Like no one's doing fireballs for single barrels of Russells or Weller Red or whatever. Like that's gone. But what's happened in the aftermath of everything that we've gone through the last couple of years is that instantly any new release is $500, $600, $700, right? Like on secondary. So
Yeah.
I do feel like this comment is legitimate in the fact that like if they sold it for $250, based on everything everyone's been saying, just like the Jack 14, it would show up on secondary for $500 to $600. So
Exactly. You're right.
we can poke at the price, but I also don't have a Jack 14, so I'm not going to buy one at $500 or $600 either. Like
prices are silly right now.
Well,
Lance is
and
kind of
here's the
saying
thing.
something.
I mean, even the Jack 14, I was lucky enough to snag one for some friends, but I got it for $150.
Yeah, that's actually cheaper than I got mine. I think mine was like
So-
160.
And it was $153 with tax.
Okay,
So it was cheaper than that pre-tax, but
I think mine
with
was
tax
like
it was $153.
So what were you saying about Lance?
Yeah, he posted a comment because he grabbed a bottle that we weren't too sure about. Maybe hints of it being like some Jack Clay Hill stuff. Lance, being that it's special now, do you think it's Jack or what? Like we're up in the air between like maybe some potential Clay Hill stuff at that proof point. Was it 150? I thought it was 140 something. Lance, am I going crazy? Either way, some very high proof, high age Tennessee whiskey. But I thought it was like 140 something proof instead of 50 something. He thinks
Oh, look at this.
Really?
Look at this comment.
Yeah, and here's the thing. You get Dickel at 15 plus years
But
at
not for
over 100 and something proof. it's way different than Dickel any other proof. And I've had some 15-year, a little over 110 proof, way better
Oh yeah,
than some of the 100
155
proof
proof.
15-year picks.
Like,
So
they've never put anything remotely close to that proof point though, which is wild. Does it taste like Dickel though? Lance, like,
I wouldn't think that
Awesome.
it would, because the ones that I've tasted that have been actual Dickel store picks, even at that higher proof, did not taste like Dickel. So
155 proof bourbon.
that's freaking nuts. What was the price on that?
a
Lance?
lot. It was a little over five, like 540.
Oh, you didn't talk about that.
Yeah, no
You sent
way.
that picture. You didn't send that context.
Yeah,
Yeah,
no
the
way.
exceptional cast
So-
have been kind of crazy though, right? In terms of price, and that's a higher age exceptional cast.
Even
just
at
to
the
back up.
exceptional
Just to-
cast, though,
Yeah.
the Heaven Hill stuff that was 12 and 13-year-old was only like 180.
Oh, 180,
So-
really?
Yeah, it
For
was under
context,
$200.
I thought they
For
were
context, because we've got 47 people in here. What we're talking about is a rare character, exceptional cask, Tennessee barrel that was 155 proof and 13 and a half years. And Darrell
Yeah.
sent us a picture of that. So that's what we're kind of discussing there. So it does sound like the price is crazy. But when you say it's Tennessee, Darrell was like, high proof Tennessee must be Jack. And I was like, yeah, but what if it's Dickel? Like, you just don't know.
Well, and there was also an exceptional cast that was a supposedly leftover weeded Parker's juice that was 2 years ago. If Ethan and Katie are in here, they'll know what I'm talking about. Let me know, Ethan and Katie, if you're still in here. I don't know if they're on here or if they're in Discord, but I'm pretty sure it was like the weeded mash bill for Parker's that was left over. It was like 8 or 9 years old. It might have been 10, but I don't think it was any higher than that.
We don't
Lance
know
says
what
we
it
don't
is,
know
but
what
there's
it is,
no
but-
banana. It's pretty
Okay.
telling.
He said it's
So-
special, so hey.
Still, I mean, the central point, Darrell and Kelsey know my vibe. Like, it's been, gosh, have I bought anything over 100 this year? Can you guys think of anything I bought over 100? These Dietrichs were 97.
I don't remember you
Sailbox
posting anything
20.
over. Maybe Sailbox?
Yeah, that was
Sailbox
it.
20.
Yeah.
Sailbox 20, we subsidized that a little bit. Kelsey, you've got a
Yeah.
sample of that.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
So that was the most expensive bottle. But even then, like, as much as I do enjoy that bottle, our $99
18 year.
pick from Evernorth beats it.
I
so
agree.
it's still like,
yeah.
like, why did I go over? Like, it's real good. It's light whiskey with some fruit notes, which is interesting. But still, in the end, compared to the Penelope 17 or our single barrel, was it actually worth it? It's still in my top 10, but how would I describe the Flintstone note? Waxy, chalky,
Minerality.
a cherry chalky note. Cherry chalky, which I think would be the Flintstone note. Might even be it in the grape, but it's either the grape or the cherry Flintstone.
I think it's a great. If anybody's had a Flintstone vitamin, then that note's pretty easy to pick up on Dickel. When you're just describing that to somebody, they're like, oh yeah, you're just hearing it for what it is, but you don't know what it truly is. Like, I grew up and had those.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
too.
So when I
Yeah.
taste something, like, it's, when you're chatting, you say verbatim, like, it's literally exactly that, dude. Like, it's kind of wild that it tastes like the vitamin. But yeah, for anybody that hasn't had it, it's kind of tough to be like, oh yeah, this is what we're getting. But when you've had it, you had it, and you'll know.
Yep.
But yeah, in that vein, and playing off of what Kelsey was saying earlier on kind of pulling back this year. I mean, we've done so many reviews, we've logged so many scores. Like, I can do all the analytics on the 600-700 reviews that we've done since 2023 and just be like, yeah, price doesn't matter. Like, it really doesn't. Like, it doesn't dictate the quality at all. Like, there's no point in going over 100 sometimes. You can get some really special stuff, though. Like, there's other stuff being talked about in chat. That's just that there is some higher level stuff out there. I'll admit that, but that's rare and usually not in most people's range at all. Like, I don't know, going over 100 sometimes just
here's what
silly.
I will say. It all depends on who's picking, especially single barrels. It all depends on who's picking it. And if you know the person's palates that are picking it, then you can pretty much guess whether or not the pick's going to be good. And some of those are going to be way better at, like, I'll just take the two that I was most impressed with that we picked lately, which were the Evernorth bourbons. One, that wheated bourbon kicks the pants off of Weller 107, and it's 107 proof. I mean, that wheated bourbon for 6 years old beats 107, hands down, not even close. And then the other one, the Green River, which was totally different than our Green River pick that we did, was absolutely fantastic. And they're $60. I mean, you're getting a killer single barrel for under $70, and it's going to be as good or better than most of the stuff that's out there at 100 plus. So it just depends on, like, where you're at in your whiskey journey, what you spent money on. Like, for me, I've got 300 plus bottles open. I've tasted a lot of stuff, and it just, you get to the point where you're like, that newness and excitement to a certain degree kind of wears off of, I got to try the newest and greatest. So Tater Cakes, we don't know yet. Most likely it will be.
Okay. So
Do you
full
know?
disclosure here. We've been sending emails about getting the links and everything. So that's why I was like, I think it's Monday. So we're still communicating with Sealbox. I'm pretty sure someone's on vacation is what's going on. But if I'm right, it should be around $79.99. We will confirm the price with everybody as soon as we know it. But if I look at other single barrels that came out on Sealbox, that was the price. So we'll say it as soon as I get that official email and we get those links. But we haven't even gotten the link yet for the pick team to get there. So if anything gets delayed from Monday, we'll keep everyone posted on the exact date.
Let's just say
we're still waiting behind the scenes.
Yeah, $70 to $90 is probably going to be the range, most likely.
There we go.
What it is.
Let's see here. There's one other thing.
Here.
Okay.
Do yourself a favor and get an old or a single barrel. Old Dom Cash Strength and Blue Nail Uncut Fit. Much better value. Oh, yeah. I can agree with everything besides the Old Glory single barrel. I don't know what that is.
I haven't tried the Old Glories, but I will say Old Dominic Cask Strength kicks the pants out of Blue Note. I'm just sorry. Like, that batch product is much better than, I would say, 80% of the picks. You'll find a Blue Note pick, like our first Blue Note pick was kind of a
one-off.
A one-off. It was an extremely short barrel. It was less than 40 bottles. It was super concentrated. You're going to find those one-off barrels like that, but as a whole, that Old Dominic Cask Strength and the Old Dominic single barrels that are coming out, i.e. ours, are gonna blow the pants off a lot of picks at that price point.
So we've got the tournament starting up again on Dusty Dan's channel. So Darrell and Major Zero Saints are teaming up again. We still have to do the blind that you sent, Kelsey, back in January. So I've got that one sitting up there. So if you send us,
Oh, I have that. I was just looking at it the other day.
So we got to do that still. So we got to get you back on. If you send us some Old Glory, maybe we can combine that together. Adam Shelton has been talking about the Old Glory as well. he's gone there a few times and been like poking us like there's something going on here. So when we're feeling those vibes in the community, just like we did today with a Dayton, Ohio distillery, we got to get the word out on those type of things. So Old Glory
Absolutely.
is sitting there just with me, just like we went through the Dietrich today. Oh man.
And pull the rest of the APW. Sounds much better than what it truly is.
You said that with like a little bit of like, I don't know what it was. Like hesitation. Like, yeah, I just poured all that. Like, I just needed to finish that sample tonight.
He's like, I want to save. That's the hardest part, guys. I will say, is when you're getting the kind of samples, and we're blessed. I'm not saying this as a brag. I'm just saying when you're blessed and you have people send you stuff all the time, it's like you try to save some because you want to go back to it, but at the same time, there's like so many that you need to get to at the same time. You're like, I'm just going to go ahead and drink it because I need to get through some of these. And Darrell is, I don't know, Darrell, how many of the samples did you go through on your blind tasting so far? Do you remember that you've been doing your videos on? How many samples?
He's getting down.
I'm down to, I almost finished one box. But like I have so many. Like I should probably walk over there and just grab a couple boxes real quick. But I used to order the original Boston rounds that came in like the 102 counts. I had 4 boxes stacked of those samples. Then I ran out of those because Amazon started creating like a cheaper one that just doesn't come as like perfectly stacked, but it was like a third of the price. I'm like, oh, I'll just do that and just crack open a little freaking package and, you know, have the bottles. But now I have like 3 different not containers, but boxes just full of just random shit, dude. Like it's terrible. Like I have so much. That's why I just poured the rest. I'm like, I'm just gonna do it. I didn't pour the rest of this one, but the rye has a tiny bit. You can see it. Not much. But yeah, I just gotta stop pouring them in. If I don't drink it, just discard it.
That's it. If you don't drink it all, you still enjoyed it. Like don't feel the grandma pressure to finish your plate like I do.
Yeah, because there's literally so much. I got hundreds upon hundreds upon hundreds of just samples, and it's crazy.
Yeah, JG saying the same thing. I heard you say that the other day in a live too, JG. Like, there's just so many samples.
Dude, it's nuts. Let me see this. Watch this.
You know, Todd was poking me too. I mean, Todd, our friend Todd over at the Bourbon Road podcast, sent us blind samples. I know I'm sitting on 6 of them. I just haven't been in the mind space or the mood for like a blind sample in a long time. Like it's hard too with what we're doing because there's always the next review. There's always the next release. You're trying to keep up with it's like a river. Like the river never stops moving and you're trying to keep up with the river while people are throwing pebbles behind you and like asking you to drink them. And it's like, you're never there at the same time. It's really hard to keep up. But it's also amazing too, because sometimes you're also in the mood for something that you don't know what it is. Like that does happen too. But man, they are mood pours when that happens.
Copper and cash.
That box was what was that box, Darrell?
Dude, this stuff
that was
like there's chaos. This one that was kind of neat. The other one was just chaos. Like, I don't know. The first one I pulled out was a 7-year take copper and cast pick. Freaking. This thing probably needs to go in the trash. It says, I think it's wheat 2B. I think this was maybe our end of the tournament thing. Like, I don't know, dude. I got a Florida copper and cast pick, 721. Just random stuff. Like, it's so much stuff. Like, this thing is like look at this, guy. It's like crazy. And there's
that one's the crazy one.
Ones that are perfect of like 102 bottles. There's 4 of them. what's that? 408 plus this, plus that, plus everything else that's just lying around. It's kind of crazy. Like, what is this? Sagamore Double Oak Rye.
I love how Travis hops in. He's like, "What are these guys doing?"
Kind of nuts.
Yeah, man. You're getting a picture of what we used to do back in the day when COVID was going on for like 3 and 4 hours at a time, just at a night. And we would just go through all kinds of stuff and taste it and BS about it and go off on different tangents. So,
Yes, nuts. All right, move that to the side.
Well,
Yeah, I
fellas,
got too much stuff.
you out?
we hit 10 o'clock.
2 hours.
2 hours. So, Kelsey, you still got some stick left.
Yep.
Darrell, I'll leave it up to you. Are we calling it or are we doing something else?
I'm good. It's up to you, man.
All right.
I can hang.
So
for a
I'm
little bit.
the off one. So what are we doing?
Another pour?
One last one. This is the finale.
What do you want to do? You want to pour something else? Do you want to dive in? Well, Kelsey doesn't have his box, so it's kind of up to me and you, I guess.
I put it on you.
Oh,
I got it. You guys go back to a single bottle that you both have that you haven't tasted in over a year.
We both have to have the
Jeez.
bottle.
Yeah.
In over a year. Oh, there's a lot of those.
Oh, okay. I'm inspired, Darrell.
You said that
If
like you had a
you-
bottle in mind.
If you still have it, when we did the tour at Peerless,
Yeah.
we bought a single barrel double oaked bourbon. Right?
We
Yeah.
did. I gotta see if I have it.
Do you still have it? That's an
maybe.
oldie. That's like
Maybe.
3 years.
Yeah. That was such a good pick, though. Are they still doing the Heritage Tour? Does anybody know? I don't think that they are. I wish that they
I
would go
don't
back to
know
that.
if they do it in the same capacity as they used to, but that was really fun.
That was probably one of my favorite tours that we did together. Besides Hard
okay.
Truth. Hard Truth was definitely probably the favorite pick that we did. Tour.
My knee almost gave out on me there. Getting old. All right. So look how much of that I have. I've babied this one.
I finished it.
So did you find it?
I finished it. You know what
You
I do
finished
have,
it?
though?
Oh,
you
well,
have-
yeah, apparently I haven't. All right.
Do
So
you
I'll
have
save that
the-
for a future blind pour.
Do you have the No Regrets NBC 10 year?
Yes. I got that still too.
I can do that one. That's like 3 years old.
Do
Yeah.
it.
Let's do it.
I can do that one. I got it.
No regrets.
No regrets. Now, everybody, you are seeing a level of precision to organization here when he calls that a random bottle, and I kind of know where it is. Now, in general, this is my non-distilling producer shelf, and then the heritage shelf is over there. All right. So this was a single barrel from a group in Michigan, and it was No Regrets. 10 years, 110 proof. And I will say, I guess we can figure this out on the tasting notes as we go through it. Sometimes I feel like NBC rebarrels things and double oaks things. This one was, I think, a straight 10-year, at least off of memory.
I think so too, because it's not as dark as if a double.
Yeah,
oak
I mean,
would be.
even look at that color. Yeah, exactly. That's a good point, Kelsey. I mean,
I'm at the same level I think you are.
Well, we clearly
You're-
didn't
you're
go
a little
no
higher.
reports on the single barrel.
A little higher.
All right. So this will be my last one, everybody, as we go through this. Now, everyone in chat, if you got any other questions for us, that's been fun responding to them. Let us know as we go through this. And then Kelsey, let us know if anything interesting comes up if you see it on the side.
Okay.
Oh, see, it froze when I wasn't trying to have it freeze.
At least that was a more glamorous angle that you gave us on that freeze.
That's the look he gives his kids when he's mad, and nobody really knows he's mad. He just has to give that look.
So there's one other thing I have to say, Darrell, since you shaved off the beard. Now you've got to go back to the intro of Matt Madness, where they had the video of Matt and he was doing the Super Bowl, the whole thing.
Yeah.
With a,
I'm running around. He has the old picture of me.
He's got the old picture. You look like that now on that dancing photo. Like you've recreated that. You've gone full circle in the last 2 months.
Yeah, he has that old
The first
face
time I saw you, I
picture.
was like, "Oh, you're like that cutout of yourself now on that video."
Yeah, I gotta get it back. The kids didn't like it. Huh?
Oh, the kids didn't like you shaved.
Beard.
That happened to me too.
Yeah. Jaden hopped in the car after practice. Oh my God, you shaved your beard.
I don't think it was quite as drastic as whenever Jeff saw me when I shaved off everything.
Oh
Like,
yeah.
Jeff was like, "What did you
Well,
do?"
it takes your mind a minute to like, wait a second here. There was one time, I'm pretty sure I've told you guys this story before, but there was this one time where I had an accidental moment with the clippers where it was set to setting 1 rather than setting 4, which I usually trim. And I went like that and I just lost the whole cheek. And I looked in the mirror and I was like, there's no correcting this.
That's
like
for me, baby.
it's just coming off. And we were hosting a party that day. So I just shaved off my entire beard and I came downstairs and Dana just looked at me and she was like, "Don't do that again. Just don't do that again." I've never done it again since. There's the one meme too that's out right now where it's like the guy with the full beard, if you've seen it, and then they shave it off, and it's like this guy, he's got like no neck whatsoever. Like his whole face. That's what I felt like in that moment.
That's funny.
Yeah, we had some clipper accidents. Major zero. Dude, if I show you a picture of like Jaden right before my wedding, oh my God. Let me see if I can find it actually before we like come off this. You guys you have a nice little laugh. Kira, relax. Jeez Louise. This girl's like on another level today. And it's like 10 o'clock. Still waving and going crazy.
Hi. That was a good move.
Let me see if I can find this. It makes for a good laugh. Let's see. So, what's good is it was around my wedding.
All right, Jeff. First impressions going back to it.
It's okay.
It's not 10 years old. So that's the one, the age statement's not there. Now, the proof on it is 110. So you got to like keep in mind it's one of those lower proof MGPs. I haven't taken a sip yet, but just off the nose. I'm mostly getting that profile that we typically get, the honey and the graham cracker. So I'm right in the middle there so far. Still great mouthfeel, great thorough experience through and through. So we talked about the some of the things that we drank today had kind of a roller coaster ride, like the Tater Cakes even. It starts out slow and then it peaks. I feel like this one is like the consistent volume all the way through. And the finish hangs on for quite a bit. It's still what we expect from this era of MGP, though. It's got some good chocolate notes, but the honey and the graham cracker are still what hangs with me. The citrus continues to play through as well. I feel like on this one, we would call this one MGP blind. Like, I guess that's a way to say it too.
Yeah. That's kind of what I remembered about it, is that it didn't taste as old as what the age statement was. That's the one thing that I definitely remember about that bottle.
Look at this real quick. Let me.
Ooh, there's a good orange note on this one though.
This was Jaden. So I got married September 23rd. This is September 14th. He decided to find my clippers in my closet and do that to his hair. Like, just balled it out, left everything else like looking kind of perfect.
That experiment,
dived into it like hardcore.
Well, the other one that I remember, Darrell, is whenever you cut Kai's hair for the first time.
Oh yeah, my little guy. He was so sad. And I didn't want to do it. Benny was like, oh, we got to cut it and it's going to grow evenly and this and that. And like, he has like super curly hair and it's cute. And we cut it and it was so short, like a little longer than what Jaden's was there. And like, he just looked like a baby again. And I was so mad. But now his hair is like back to normal and like, it's curly and cute. But like, I hated every minute of cutting his hair off, dude. Like sucked. But now, yeah, we're back to normal.
I do remember that. That's the other one I remember you, like, that was a big deal. Like, how long his hair was when you cut it.
Yeah, he had like, it wasn't crazy long, but he had nice curls and we chopped it all off. I was like, oh, man. It's no regrets.
Oh, this was a good one to end on, though. Man, I'm glad we're getting back into some honey notes, though. Even with our Tater Cakes. I missed that note. I haven't been getting that note lately. Even on MGP.
The one that I can remember the honey note the most was that Pinhook 6-year MGP, the yellow waxed one that you got.
The 9-year? I think it was the 9-year.
Was it 9-year?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. The 9-year.
That one had a lot of honey notes on it.
This one is similar profile. If I think about that, Kelsey,
yeah,
that's in this range.
No, I can see that.
The oak is coming through more and more, though, as I'm sitting there with it. Once again, though, not double-barreled, like some of the things that NBC or Backbone does.
Yeah, you don't got that double-barrel note at all on this. And that was kind of maybe my gripe initially. Granted, this bottle was cheap, too. Like, to put it in perspective, like a 10-year NBC now is probably like, for bourbon, $200 maybe.
Yeah.
$180.
Prohibitive price.
This was like silly cheap. Like, I think they actually ended up getting it cheaper. I think it was maybe like $110 or something like that at the time. And I was like, oh, shit, okay.
Oh.
Like, it's good, but it's not like crazy. This came out right around, I think, the same time as the Indiana Foundation. Actually, no, this was before the Indiana Foundation for Gate.
Damn.
Yeah.
But that was more of like what I thought a 10-year MGP should be from the Indiana Foundation versus this one. But it's, like I said, it's good, but not crazy.
Man, it's crazy. We've been sitting here talking about this thing, sipping it back and forth, and then like the fourth or fifth sip hit me in the feels. I got this over-the-top, old-school MGP oak note, like out of nowhere. That was really good.
Oh, man.
But
Got a little
I
bit
also feel like hitting me in the feels is time for me probably to call it quits. So,
left. Same boat.
Kelsey and
Thanks for
Darrell,
sticking around, guys. Appreciate you. Make sure you keep watch on Tater Cakes when it's going to release, all that stuff, as well as look for the old Dom coming up as well. So
Yes,
thanks
sir.
everybody for the support tonight. Jeff, thanks for the gift package today. I'm looking forward to getting into those.
oh yeah, looking forward to seeing your reactions to those guys. Man, did you see how quick Kelsey jumped onto that like moment where he's like, "Yeah, he's calling it quits."
He's like, I'm just about done with the cigar.
Darrell, any final word?
No, I'm good. I'm good.
Yeah. As Kelsey was saying, the Tater Cakes, look for it on Monday. If you're still here, be in our private Facebook group or our Patreon to get the updates on the pick. If anything changes, we'll let you know. But Monday is the plan as far as we're concerned. But we'll let you know. And
look for it on Dusty Dan's stream too, because he'll have an update on Monday since he streams Monday.
Dusty Dan will be on vacation. I think Marty might be taking up the slack. So we'll keep you posted too on who's doing the Monday stream. But yeah, I think that's it. Thank you everybody for hanging out on Overtime. I know it's a little different vibe than we typically do, but now you get to see what we do post stream because that was pretty much it.
Yep.
And we'll catch you next week. Let's see here. Next week, it's still just going to be us, but we're going to start getting into guests soon thereafter. So we'll keep you posted here on the schedule, but do have some fun things planned for the future. All right. That was it. Now go head over to Jason's stream that he's not doing, and we'll catch you on the next Whiskey Wednesday.
See you guys.
Goodbye, everybody.